Hello and welcome to Gaming Again and welcome back to another episode of the Football Manager server, episode number dos, where we're going to be talking about our progress in the Sky Bet League One with myself, Muzz, Luke, and Stuart. How are we getting on, boys?
Fantastic.
Aye, good, good.
Hear it. So, as you can see, the league has spread out a wee bit more. We can see that Portsmouth are first, Sunderland are second, and Bolton are 12th. So we will see hear the stories of each team from their respective managers, starting with Sunderland, of course. So we'll go to my favourite bit of Football Manager, the transfers, where I have actually managed to make some more transfers. It is the end of the January transfer window. None of us are sacked, I should say. None of us are sacked, which is rare to be at this
Uh-huh.
season, and none of us have been sacked.
Yep.
Few of us have been close. Few of us might still be close, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, uh, in episode one, I did say I was going to look at some more free transfers, and I have made some. Uh, Mark Navarro, I believe I did say I was looking at signing him, and I have. He has proven to be a very good right back, wing back for me. And then just for the good times, I signed Jack Rodwell. Um, Also as a bit of cover at centre back and in the midfield because he is quite a versatile player in those positions. So he's not going to play many games, but if there's any cup competitions, he will get a start. And then, for some reason, I just started thinking that I have an affiliation with Bayern Munich, who have loaned me three players this window. One of them, this Torben Riehen, I was actually looking to sign a pre-contract. He is a cracking player. Really could have developed into a smashing player for me, but unfortunately, he accepted another contract at Bayern, which I don't blame him. But um, just needed some real backup in the attacking areas because I felt like we've lacked some of the players that I will go into talking about have really lacked some good performances, and I needed some. So I got uh, Batista Mia Mea in. I think that's how you say
Something
his
like
name.
that, yeah.
Who just fantastic ability level for this. I think he's really going to add some real decent delivery on free kicks and corners, which is an area that we haven't really uh, done well in this year. I don't think so. It doesn't feel like we've scored from a lot of corners. And then the big one, we actually spent some money, and we spent, as you can see, it says quite a bit of money, but the upfront fee was, I think, 200k, and the rest is in future fees. But it is this uh, young man here, Luke Wolfenden, Wolfenden,
No, Wolfenden, yeah.
Wolfenden, just a ball playing defender, um, very tall, looks a player. I think he will be an asset if I do get up to the championship as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him play. Just a few outgoings, no one of note to be fair. Got a big bit of fee for Dan Neil, who apparently was a good player. I never made it into my squad. So anyway, we go to the schedule, and basically where we left off, I was looking. It was feeling quite optimistic at Sunderland, and then September happened, and we lost five. We didn't win 5 out of 6 games. Our next 5 out of 6 games, which was really, really bad. Two away defeats. The home draw against Accrington was poor. We beat Luke, which I think it
Wasn't
was.
a great accomplishment at that point, but that's okay.
No, I think we were both struggling for form at this point in the season. The loss to Cheltenham was horrendous because they were bottom of the league at that point and they blew us away. And then, honestly, the changing point was the loss to Stoojy for two reasons, really. Basically, I tried to overcompensate for my poor form and played a ridiculously defensive formation. Stoojy was 2-0 up within the first 30 minutes, and I changed it to my home form, which was just attacking, and we scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. In fact, 2 goals in 1 minute, it seems like, because Ross Stewart scored on the 33rd, and then the 33rd minute, which is strange. I've never seen that. But so that was the first reason, the tactical change, and then Ross Stewart. Now, if you saw the league, you will have saw the top goal scorers, and you'll have seen that Ross Stewart has 27. The next best player has 18. Now, I don't think I've ever had a striker like this who is just blowing. It's overperforming is not a word I would use. He is just it's godlike at this level. Like that those numbers in January is ridiculous, and I think I'm due it because I have had some stinkers of strikers in
He
the
scored literally 50% of your goals.
yeah, he scored, which could be an issue if he does get injured. But we're not going to
Yeah,
think about that because he's,
no, no.
he's godlike and he's going to be fit for the whole season. So pretty much since the Stoojy defeat, we have not lost a game in the league. We lost to Bradford in the Papa John's, but who cares about that? It's not that interesting a trophy. We're actually in our worst bit of form in a while, but it is we've not won in 4 games, but they're all draws, and 2 of them were away games. One of them was against top of the league. Stuart, would you like to address how this game went, or should I?
I think you should give it a go, mate.
Stuart should have lost, basically. Uh, Stuart, I think Stuart was good value for money in his defeat over me, even though it was a goalkeeping error that led to the decisive goal. But yeah, Stuart, it was an utter domination from Sunderland, and Stuart got away with one. Uh,
I like to call it great defending.
it
Yeah.
was a smash and grab draw, which I don't think you can get. But then we came to Luke, which was a very different kind of game, very attacking, very open. My keeper made a mistake in this game,
Mm.
but 3-1 up at half time. We were cruising. I think the boys get complacent and allowed Bolton back into it. But on the balance of play, a draw, I would say, is a fair result. Luke would probably say he might have deserved it a wee bit more. The goal XGs were very similar.
Yeah, yeah.
So honestly, I'm just happy that yous are both out the way now, and I can
Mhm.
look forward to the rest of the season. Upcoming fixtures, there's obviously going to be some big ones. I've also played Lincoln, who are below me in the table twice now, so that's good. Didn't get beat off them. Uh, so hopefully we can start winning again. I do think the last 4 games have been particularly tough. But I mean, three out of 4 games being away and drawing those 3 games, I don't think that's bad per se. But when they're in a row, it doesn't look good. Um, the biggest game that we've got is Chelsea away. I mean, that is going to be a huge day for Sunderland. Huge financial gain there. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Just ready to take part. I'm going to send out a strong team, I think, to maybe try and cause an upset. But you know, I'm not hoping for getting through to the next round. Just happy to be there. So that's it, really. Yeah, I will say there's been some disappointing performances from some of my big players, or who I thought would be my big players. Um, Jack Wilshere is one of them. He has not been performing. Where is he? I can't even find him on my screen. Jackie, where are you? Is he disappeared? Oh no. He's actually the second worst performing player on the team. So
Well,
yeah, he's just not performed. He has really not performed. I don't know if it's the role I'm playing him in or just the level of football. Aidan McGeady as well. He's one of the reasons why I got in some reinforcements up top because he's been poor. and Giovanni Dos Santos as well. Just really poor from these three. I think I should be expecting more from them. I think with Wilshere and Dos Santos, it could be the level that they're playing at and just not taking it as seriously. But hopefully, I think if Wilshere and Dos Santos can actually come into some good form, then I could have essentially be a new signing for the second half of the season. But I've had a couple of talks to them about their form, and it's still not improved. As you can see, it's not like they're not getting chances to show it. Although Jack Wilshere was injured for the past 2 months. But yeah, and we're second in the league. We've got Stoojy in our sights, and hopefully we are gonna, try and get as close to him as we can, and see what can, because we're it's not as if he's invincible. We're both losing games, we're both drawing games. Drawing games at the minute seems to be the big issue for me, not getting over the line. Because when Ross Stewart scores, we tend to win, but when Ross Stewart doesn't score, no one's really popping up with the goals.
Mm.
So that is it, really. Good. I'm glad just to be in the job at this point. Obviously, automatic promotion places is exciting. I'm happy with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes. Hopefully, can keep in the automatic promotion places. So, Stuart, top of the league. How are you feeling?
Um, Fantastic. Well, one thing I probably didn't address in the last video was that Portsmouth probably have one of the best teams starting in the sort of FM save. It's really just a case of plastering over the cracks with a few maybe loan signings like I've done. So will we start with my sort of finalised transfers in?
Yes, can do.
So back in the summer or early summer, I signed Jack Rolls, Stephen Welsh, and in the late summer, I signed a young lad called Polomat, who I have to admit never heard of in my puff until Sunderland brought him in on loan.
Low now.
Loan. I mean, if he was in on loan, I'd still have him. Trial.
On trial, and turns out he's a big Portsmouth fan. So he joined Portsmouth, and he's been a pretty key player for me. So let's
That's
talk
some
about.
really good performances, actually. Average rating of 7.46.
Second best performer in the league, only behind Mr. Stewart.
And I only have one person to thank for that, and that is Scott Muzz Murray. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Moving on to my transfers out. I didn't sell anyone, get rid of anyone in the summer, but I have made, I've I've got rid of some of the deadwood that I've realised that Portsmouth have. One of those players is a player that you know very well, Muzz, by the name of John Marquise.
Get him to fuck.
Who infamously couldn't score for to save his life.
The Joe Dodo of Portsmouth, as he's commonly known.
Next person I got it, or I loaned out one of my cracking right backs. I'm blessed with such great youth that I can loan them out. I got rid of a couple of players, Jaden Reed and Lee Brown, who are both deadwood as well. So moving on to my results and my schedule. So one game that I failed to mention in the last episode was possibly one of the greatest results in Portsmouth's history. It was the 1-0 away win against Brighton.
That was quite a
Some
good result.
Premiership opposition. I'm not going to mention the fact that they played a sub team, of course.
Keep that under the radar.
we take those. And moving on to the sort of rest of my season up until now, it's been very good. Of course, I believe the key result that has led to my success has been was the AFC Wimbledon home loss in the Papa John's Trophy. That ultimately meant that I got papped out of the Papa John's, and I threw a water ball in the dressing room, Muzz. Let me tell you.
I can imagine. I mean, you take it very seriously, the Papa John's Trophy.
The boys were given some hairdryer treatment, and let me tell you, they stepped up to the plate. The rest, all the games after that, pretty much. All the games in the league after that, I think I played 20 games after that game, and I lost one in the league.
Against
JD
AFC Wimbledon, and you got a player sent off, so that can't be helped.
Yep. I mean, what can you do when you have?
It's a lot of green. There's a lot of green there, and you're doing it with clean sheets as well, which is very impressive. I mean, you should have lost to Sunderland, but I'm not better or anything.
You always take away draws in the League One, let me tell you.
You do.
That was a cracking result. And I'm hoping that's a sign of positive things to come for this team.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. I mean, I think one of the things that we were talking about before this ever started was possibly multiple people getting promoted at the same time, which hopefully can be the case, Stoojy. So it looks like you've got it. It's in your hands. You have a 11 point lead at the top at the minute. So we will see how you get on.
Yes, sir.
Now we come to Luke and Bolton. So how's it going, mate?
I mean, you're talking to me at a good time, because it's going better now. But you know, the allusion to someone being near the sack was ever present for me for quite a while. I'm quite fortunate I picked a team with a patient board, it seems, because I probably would have sacked me based off results. But performances, to be fair, have always been pretty steady. We are right up there with XG for and XG against in terms of, if we were basing it off of that, I'd be in the promotion places, the playoff places, not promotion rather. So to me, we've struggled with just a lack of quality in our players. Missing lots and lots of chances, making lots of mistakes at the back. I've never really had a save where I've conceded as many long shots as I have, but it seems to be a really good tactic against Bolton, is just to shoot from wherever you want. Despite my goalkeeper actually being one of my better rated players.
Have you addressed any of that in the window?
So transfer wise, it's been the same theme as what you kind of have to do with Bolton. I sold some players, so I ended up selling another 125,000 worth of players. Made some wage and used that to bring in some players. So I managed to get in Tevez, which I know probably hurt you ever so slightly. And the thing that's sad about bringing Tevez in is that when I agreed to deal with Tevez, I was playing a different style of football in terms of formation, where he would have fitted in probably a lot more naturally. But just because of the way results were going, tactics had to change. We had to go back to basics, and now Tevez is kind of having to find a way to fit into the team. So he's not had the best of starts. He's not been awful. I think his average rating is about 6.7. So he's kind of playing pretty average, and to be honest, that's actually above average in my team. My average ratings are not very good, so he's doing okay, but no goals. I think he's had one assist. But yeah, apart from that, I got in Josh Sims on a free. Dan Crowley came in on a free. That was more for preparation because I have a young kind of player, midfielder, who's leaving on a pre-contract to Italy. He's going to be playing in Serie A next season. which is a good move for him. Annoyingly, he actually rejected a move to a better Serie A side, which would have been for money rather than a pre-contract. It would have been worth £180,000, which would have for Bolton would have been huge. But he rejected that offer and then accepted the offer from a club who are in the relegation zone. So. And yeah, some interest loans. I got rid of a lot of the loans that I brought in initially. Stephen Kelly, Andre Dozel, they both went back to their parent clubs. So did Amici as well. Sorry, he wasn't one I brought in though. He was one that Bolton had done at the start of the season. Brought in Jake Hasty and Logan Chalmers on loan. Jonathan Panzo at the back. Luka Racic was just. I brought him in on loan and then didn't play him and sent him back before the window finished. So that was more because Jonathan Panzo became available, so Racic wasn't a priority. And then Ik Piazza, I've been disappointed with his start because he is physically a really dominant forward. I was hoping that he would do really well for me, kind of make an instant impact. He's had a bit of a slow start. Missed an absolute sitter against Sunderland very early on in the game, which could have changed the whole dynamic. But still awaiting his first goal. But I'm hoping that if he does get a goal, that maybe
a slow burner.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been a kind of a topsy-turvy season for you.
Yeah.
I just scrolled from your good half to the bad half, and it's dramatically different. I do have to say.
From where we left the last video left off with me beating Burton 3-1.
Good result because they were high up the league.
They were. And I was really pleased. We were creating a lot of chances. We were scoring those chances. We weren't giving away many chances, and we weren't, conceding loads. And then all of a sudden, we just stopped scoring. We just stopped taking our chances. We were conceding goals from really, really ridiculous ranges and things like that. And I was starting to kind of, at that point, I was very confused as to what to do because on the stat sheet of every game, we were playing really well. We probably deserved to win it, but it was ending up in a loss. And so I changed to a 3 at the back, thinking hopefully that will make us a bit more solid through the middle. Hopefully that will stop as many long shots going in. Hopefully we'll do a bit better in the air from crosses. And it had a little bit of an upturn in form. I did that just after we got beat 3-0 off Wigan. We got a draw. We won 3-0. We played brilliant against Sheffield Wednesday and lost 3-2. And then came Portsmouth, where
different beast.
It started. Well, my XG was really high at the start. Probably could have been at least been 1 or 2 goals up in the first 5 minutes, and then first kind of action from Pompey, clinical goal. We got a penalty, scored like 2 long shots that game, maybe 3 from outside the box. So I got annihilated. But then the form continued with the 3 at the back. We won a couple of games. It was all good. And then the form but against Wickham, the games against Wickham and Doncaster, it just wasn't good enough. So I changed again. I just went back to basics, gave the players less instructions because I just didn't think they could handle them because of the ability they have. And it kind of saw an instant kind of change in fortunes. We had a really good run of forms. The games that we did lose up until, in fact, honestly, ever since we've made that change, I don't think there's been a game that we've deserved to lose. I don't necessarily think we deserve to win every game. I think you make a decent point with our game. I think if you look at the stat sheet, it's a more than a fair result. I think I've only just pipped you on XG, but I think it was frustrating moments for me because we missed like an open goal.
You missed a few sitters.
Like super high XG chances that should just be put away.
And then
whereas I think yours were like a war of attrition. You had lots of kind of shots from different areas, and I think that's how your XG kind of mounted up.
And then you hit the post in like the last 5 minutes when it was 3 each as well. So it's never nice.
It's never exactly.
In the end, I was
So
lucky to escape with a draw.
yeah, maybe, but it was either way. I was very pleased with the performance, considering we were 3-1 down, and it did feel a bit like a kind of smash and grab type thing. That's how it was feeling at that point. But yeah, we played really well in the second half to come back. 3-each, really good performance, and we've done really well in cups, apart from the infamous Papa John's Trophy. We got a good result in the Carabao Cup early on. I think we beat Stoke, then played really well against Burnley, but ended up losing 3-1. FA Cup, we've managed to do a good run. We've now got Derby in the fourth round. However, I'm kind of desperate to get a big team like yourself, just for those ticket allocations, that cash from that, because
that would go a long way for Bolton.
It would go so long. It would go so well. It would be so good for Bolton, because we are currently, despite the fact that I have made a profit in the transfer market and I have decreased our wage bill by £7,000 in terms of our wage budget, our finances are still in the mud. We are close to £1 million in debt. So yeah, not brilliant.
Not looking good for the old Bolton financially, but there has been an upturn in form. So I think yeah, we're all looking pretty. I mean, it's close. You're only 3 points out of the playoff places, which is ridiculous. 6th, 12th. I mean, there's a bit of gap between you and Wigan, but it's like if you lose a couple of games, you're down all the way down the table. If you win a couple of games, you're all the way up.
Yep.
So I think we're just all heading in the right direction. I think definitely Portsmouth. It's their title to lose.
For sure.
I'm going to try and do my best to catch up, but Stoojy has definitely got the knack for League One. Hopefully, Bolton can get to the playoffs. It would be pretty remarkable if you managed to get automatic promotion at this point, being that there's an 18-point difference. But me as Stoojy would need to have a proper me, Stoojy, and Ipswich and Burton would all need pretty spectacular capitulations for that. But aye, it's been a. I'm just glad we're all in the server. We've all got a job. I'd say it again. This is new territory for me, so I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, it's good to see that we're all doing well. I mean, I've been close to the sack as well, apparently, even though I wasn't really doing.
Right.
I was 7th or 8th, just outside the playoffs, and I had a game in hand. And the news it came up that my job was under threat, and then I won the game, and it had gone. So, but yeah, so it's good to see that we're all in the job. We've all got good things going at the minute. Ross Stewart is just the best player in the league.
Yep.
Just unbelievable. Might be my favourite player of all time now in FM, just for what he's doing. He's put Sunderland on his back, and he is just carrying us. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Optimistic for all of us, I think. That's more than I can say than I was feeling at the start. I was feeling like there was a bit of a inevitability about me getting sacked again, but it seems like it's going well so far.
That's for sure.
So far. But anyway, so that is it. So that is the server. If you wish to see more, I'm going to be doing some more Football Manager videos as well, doing the saving Spurs save, and I might be doing a few more saving teams across the leagues. So we'll see how that goes. So if you want to keep up with that, hit that subscribe button. And with all that said, all that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.